Hi, I'm John Howell, and I was a trooper. I was a driver of a Sherman with a 17-pounder gun, and we came to the Ardennes. Well, we left Holland when the Americans needed help here, and we spent about 3 days at the Hulk on the south side, I imagine, of Brussels. We stayed there because no one knew where the enemy were. We then moved forward and we went to Marsh. We did an action with the 53rd Welsh Division, and we supported the Highland Light Infantry in an action there. We then went back. We were stationed in the town hall there. We went back and put extensions on the track because of the bad weather. We then came to La Roche. We spent a night, slept out on a hill somewhere between here and Marsh. We came into the town. I was the leading tank. My troop leader, unbeknown to me, with the colonel of the Scots, the Black Watch, came into the town doing a reconnaissance, and we were stood outside talking, but I didn't know that they'd been in here. We came round a very sharp corner, and there was a Panther tank within about 10 feet of me, which fortunately had been abandoned. We then came down through the town, and at the end of the town there was a barn of some sort. We slept in this barn overnight. In the morning, we went up to Heaves, up the hill, and because I had rubber tracks on the tank, and I went up with a different troop to my own, we decided I could lead for the second day running, which is not the best thing to do. We then fought an action against the, I think it's the 116th German tank division, and we lost 3 tanks, and we had a number of men injured and 1 killed. And the following day, our B squadron, I was in C squadron of the 1st Northamptonshire Yeomanry, which is part of the 33rd Independent Armoured Brigade. The following day, after the battle we had at Heath, our B squadron went to the next village where they met the Americans, and that was the end of the war as far as we were concerned in La Roche. We then went back to Belgium and converted to amphibious tanks for the Rhine crossing. We trained for, I suppose, about a month on the Meuse. We then took the Highland Division again across the River Rhine, and for us that was the last war, part of the war that we took part in. Yeah. We then went back to Holland and we were stationed in Breda. Yeah. When the war armistice was proposed, we
so you performed, in fact, real battles, in fact, with the Germans here in your tank.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. One of my friends is at Houghton.
Oh, yeah. And it's the first time you came back here, or?
No, I came back. We came here years ago. I think probably for the 40th or something like that anniversary. We stayed in a holiday camp outside.
Oh, yeah.
And I came here on a holiday with my wife and one of my brothers, around about I should think in the 1960s. And this is the second time I've come here officially.
And is it important to come back, in fact? Is it emotional?
No, don't start me off. Yes, we then, the armistice was signed, and the war was over as far as we were concerned. The following day, we were told we were going to get our amphibious tanks back, because at Breda we had the Shermans back again after the Rhine crossing, and we were told that we were getting the amphibious tanks back to take the 1st Canadian Infantry Division across the Zuider Zee, because there were Dutch SS divisions in Amsterdam or Rotterdam or somewhere, and they didn't think they'd give up. Fortunately they did, so we didn't have to fight after the war was over. And that was the end of the war for us.
So I'm going to ask you the same, in fact. So.
Yeah.